Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Yo, welcome. Give me 1 sec, y'all. Yesterday's coughing was intense. I just suddenly started coughing. Welcome, everybody. Good morning, or good afternoon, wherever you guys are at. Thank you for being here. Take your time, but hurry up. You know, that's what Sylvia, shout out to Sylvia. I'm sure Sylvia will join later on. Shout out to Sylvia. Take your time, but hurry up. How is everybody doing? Hold up. I'm repeating myself over here. How is everybody doing, y'all? Let me know in the chat what is going on. Listen, I was over here at BJ's channel, and like I said, I love how she breaks down. She read the letter that we are going to look at as well and just kind of give commentary about. But there's another thing I was going to say about BJ. Hold up. Come back to me. Don't go. There's some things that she said that I was like, oh my God, that is so true, right? Like looking at how these attorneys make an argument and how everything just kind of links up. Like a chain, right? Like you need, in order to make a chain, a necklace or whatever, you need these arguments to link up. And I was listening to her and I just love that she just kind of, the way she broke things down, you know what I'm saying? You guys know that I love how she breaks things down. But the other thing I wanted to say about BJ is there is an update on her case, a filing that was made on her case that I'm going to work on a pre-recorded video because I mean, I kind of want to do a pre-recorded, reaction with everybody. And so maybe I'll be dropping that tomorrow. There's another pre-recorded video I'm working on as well, but this one I think is very important. BJ has shown herself to be truthful, successful. The truth always wins, right? Anytime there's like, no matter what, there's one thing. People have to change the narrative of a lie all the time in order to keep the lie, in order to keep people engaged. But when it comes to the truth is the truth. It doesn't matter how you change it. The truth doesn't change. Yes, her case. So I'm just like, and I want to be able to add, like, because she's got her legal defense fund, she still has to raise money. I mean, to me, it's like they really tried to silence her, and then they tried adding me in the BS too. And I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Like, people really do lie in court. People don't care about perjury. People don't care. They don't care. And then the same people that lie about you still try to contact you via email. What do you guys do when you know people are lying on you and then they still try to contact you on email or via email? What do you do about that? Like, for me, it's like the audacity, the audacity for you to not only lie on my name, but then you really try to contact me via email as if I'm going to drop everything and tend to you, as if you should even contact me. It's weird, but that's the kind of stuff I really like. I don't want to respond or anything, because the way I see it is, if you lied on me, I'll never have a conversation with you. If you lied on me, especially put my name on some court paperwork, I will never have a conversation with you. I will no. All right. My name is not Shine Barrow. I don't break bread with the devil after he sent me to jail. No. Mm-mm. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Ignore them. That I know, right? Can you put that on a t-shirt? There's a lot of things I need to put on a t-shirt. Excuse me. Forgive them, Rabbit. You are way better than that. Yeah, I mean, I can forgive. I just keep the people in a distance. Like, I'm like, choo, stay away from me. Satanas, stay away from me. I don't know you. And honestly, like, that's crazy. And to know, like, that happened to BJ too. It's just crazy, yo. So this is why BJ's lawsuit is very important, because they really try to silence her. So I'm working on a pre-recorded video for that. Hopefully I'll drop it mañana. You guys can join me in the chat. Let's see. A Will Smith song says, "Let God deal with things they do. Hate in your heart will consume you too." Tiffany, listen. I don't know about Will Smith. Did you guys see what happened with Will Smith yesterday too? because that's the other thing too. Like, he is trying so hard not to be part of the Diddy parties, even though Will Smith has his own little controversy. I mean, he's into, like, the open marriage stuff. They fucked up August Alsina, that's for sure. There's been other stuff that's been said about Will Smith and his entanglement. Oh yeah, excuse me. And then there's the slap fest. Oh, you are right. Right, the slap fest, the slap that everybody heard, right? Anyways, y'all are amazing. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Shout out to everybody. Guys, thank you so much for hitting that like button. We are about to get into it. And there's so much. Thank you, Pika. And we got to update that merch store too. There's so much to get into as it pertains to what we are going to cover today. Hold up, y'all. Let's get into this. So this is the part that we did not read yesterday. This was the letter that BJ read this morning, and I just had some thoughts and stuff. So this is again a letter from the Alex Spiro, Jay-Z's attorney. And what they did is that they highlighted Corey Malis. Corey. Why did I call her Corey? Her name is not Corey. Chloe, thank you. The C's are like Corey, Courtney, Chloe Malis. Okay. They highlighted her investigative, I don't know, report interview. You know what's so crazy? And I was thinking last night, because we had that live yesterday, and some of y'all were like, everybody was on the fence. Some folks had already made up their minds, some folks have not. For me, I'm still very much on the fence about a lot of things. The jury is still out, believe it or not. I just feel like Chloe Malis, you know, titling her interview on the inconsistencies. And yet I'm like, well, okay, I guess. And then they put her on the interview. I just wouldn't have. I guess I understand why now Buzbee doesn't want his victims interviewed because of this type of situation. He doesn't want. We were just talking about you. He doesn't want, people poking holes in these stories and stuff like that, which makes sense. I mean, if something is sketchy, just I hope she stays as a Jane Doe, because the internet's gonna eat her up. You know what I mean? Sylvia, I was saying how you said take your time but hurry up. That's like you're saying. Shout out to you. Pika said it as well. Let's see what you guys are saying. So weird that I had to make it small, then big, and didn't. What are you talking about, Gaslit? Shout out to you. Oh, you're trying to listen to different speeds. I see. Shout out to you, love. Okay. So where do you guys stand with this? Ingrid, you were pretty you were like, I don't know about the story anymore. You were kind of standing in like, I don't know about this case anymore. That's kind of where you were at. So I'm kind of curious to know where it's been, like, what, 24 hours, I don't know, a couple hours since the news dropped. Where does everybody land with this case at this point? And again, for those that are coming in, we're talking about the 13-year-old Jane Doe who said that she was AR'd by Diddy and JC. Okay. And then there was a celebrity female that we know of. All right. That's all we know so far. You said keep the receipts. Okay. All right. Her stories, she doesn't have a witness. Okay. That we know of. The person that drove her to the awards passed away. There's that. And then her father can't support the story as well, like can't support it at all. So that's the other thing too. A lot is in question at this point. So I'm kind of wondering where you guys are at. And look at BJ's in the chat. Shout out to BJ. I have a different feeling that Jay-Z paid her father. And a lot of people have said that too. But can you tell me why you feel like that? Like, what made you feel that? What made you conclude that? Like, what is it, the powers that be? I also think that it's interesting how she is what's the word? That out of all the Jane Does and John Does, Chloe Malis has set her eyes on this one that is not only accusing Diddy, but Jay-Z as well. And there's like 120 plus, right? That we know of, if not more. Buzbee said it was in the 300s. Some's not. So it's just a lot of this is not landing very well for me. That's not a coincidence. Not a coincidence. Yep. See, and I mean Amanda Rabb. For those that don't remember, Amanda Rabb did have her dad discredit her on a public platform too. Um, who are people working for? People can be bought too. So this is why I kind of like, okay, Chloe, you're gonna put your energy on this one because it's Jay-Z. What about the other John Does and Jane Does? What about the John Doe that did the interview this week recently? And he outlined a bunch of things that I thought were, interesting as well. Like, are you just going to focus on her? What about the other ones? You got your work cut out for you, girl. Like, why don't you come forward and also work on the other ones? I mean, let me know what your thoughts are. Or is it because this one's only Jay-Z? I'm kind of curious about that. You know what I mean? And it could very well be, she could also very well be not telling the truth. I can accept that as well. Can we accept that as well? That there are some people that don't tell the truth about certain things. That's how it feels. She might get lucky. Someone might corroborate her story or make a deal. It could be. So a lot of I like I said, I'm not I could accept a lot of things, and that's why the jury's out for me on this one a little bit, but I'm also wondering why this journalist is or NBC correspondents or whatever the hell you call them now, okay? Why is it that she went as far as to talk about this Jane Doe and not the other ones? She didn't talk about Anna Kane. I didn't see her report on Anna Kane and anything like that. I didn't see her talk about so anything Diddy, she hasn't reported yet. I don't know. The jury's still out for me on this one. But anyways, let's keep reviewing this. Y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments. Here it is. So, Honorable Judge Torres, we write to the court on behalf of our client, Sean Carter, on a matter of extraordinary and grave importance for the integrity of the proceedings in the above captioned case. Now, let me tell you, this is literally being submitted, like a Friday night? I feel like these explosive filings or letters or motions or allegations, they happen on a Friday night or on a Sunday night, and then we have the whole week to kind of work through them and consume them. I'm just like, this is crazy. She says, the person says, today at about 7:27 p.m. Eastern, NBC News reported on an interview that its reporters conducted with the anonymous plaintiff in the case. Again, the 13-year-old accuser, the only Jay-Z accuser, okay? The only one. The interview outs plaintiff's allegations for what they are, a sham. Dun, dun, dun. Basic facts in her narrative, the who, the what, the when, and the where, are wrong. She claims her father picked her up after the assault. Her own father denies that ever happened. She claims she spoke with Benji Madden at the party that night, but he was on tour in the Midwest at the time, forcing her to admit, I have made some mistakes. I have made a mistake in identifying. See, and I will say this, this right here, when Chloe said, well, she has some inconsistencies. I have made some mistakes. I mean, they really highlighted this part. And I said, oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. All right. Yes, people can make mistakes. Thank you, Jill, for gifting. Shout out to Jill. Make sure you guys put some hearts in the chat if you've been blessed by Jill. Thank you, love. Thank you. Her story doesn't make sense. It's true. What evidence this journal has? Did she show them to her? I don't even know what evidence the victim has at this point other than just her statement. Is that evidence enough? Probably. I don't know. Like, it's just a statement that the alleged victim has made. Just because the band didn't attend the VMAs has nothing to do with them attending and has nothing to do with them attending and the after party. Is that what you mean? Yeah, I mean it says a lot. And I think I don't know if they did or didn't attend. Quite honestly, I don't necessarily think it in their investigation, and if they've done an appropriate investigation, then the information should stand for what it is. But at the same time, I do kind of side eye the way in which this is being approached, because I think about this. The other Jane and John Doe's have not gotten the same energy, but this one has. Is and I think, and now this is just me speculating, because there's more than one celebrity that's being implicated in this, right? First, it was celebrity A and celebrity B. Now we know that Jay-Z is celebrity A. Who the hell is celebrity B? Why is it so important? This specific lawsuit. I mean, you have some other horrific ones that involve Diddy, but I mean, they're also not, fighting those. You don't see Chloe saying, yeah, yeah, I'm going to expose the other ones too and put a crazy ass title. You don't see her doing that. So I have a lot of questions. I do. Yes, and she says she was drugged. And there's a lot to this too as well. You know what I mean? Like, I have a lot of questions. I think that everybody should question everything at this point. If she was drugged, like, and she was able to fight off the person that she had fought off, ran to a gas station, called dad, nobody else called 911. They drove 5 hours back to where she's at. Dad didn't speak to her. Dad didn't notice that she was disheveled, didn't ask her anything. There's a lot that doesn't make sense to this. She doesn't remember certain things. I think that's something to take into account. Where was the after party in correlation to the VMAs? So they're saying the lawsuit never mentions the Lotus, but people have said that it was like the Lotus was the after party, right? The lawsuit never said it was Lotus. The lawsuit said that she was driven to a house, a white house with a gated U-shaped driveway type of situation. So I don't know. And to me, when they went to ask the Good Charlotte band member or whatever, if he knew or if he saw something, he's not gonna be like, yeah, I remember her. She was 13. Oh yeah. Like it's stupid to ask what's his name, Benji, if he remembers her or even the brother. Cause I'm like, that don't make sense. What makes sense to me is them checking the distance to the after party, to the home, to the drive. Doesn't make sense. Like these are concrete things. Um, and kind of going from there. And there are pictures out there from certain things that happened that night. Who was with Diddy? Is J Lo? Where's J Lo at with this? Does she plan to write a statement in support of any of these individuals? She's quiet and she's been photographed throughout this event. Just saying. Anything is possible. Okay. Okay, so she claims the assault took place at an after party at Mr. Combs' home, but photos that night show Mr. Combs and Mr. Carter at the Lotus nightclub for the after party. And the after party is an after party. There could have been an after party. What's that one song say? After party, and then there's the hotel lobby. Like I'm just thinking of music that would basically say that it doesn't stop at the party. There's an after party. I don't know. Keep that in mind. So it took place at an after party at Mr. Combs' home, but photos that night show Mr. Combs and Mr. Carter at the Lotus nightclub for the after party. When pressed, the plaintiff admitted that she was guessing about key details, including the time it took her to reach the venue. She admitted she has no single corroborating witness over the last 20 years. I think there might be one witness. You know who I think might be the witness? She went to the gas station. Who was working at the gas station that night? Hmm? I mean, I would go to the gas. Is this gas station still open? This is like 24 years ago. Is this gas station till? I'm in my mind. I'm like going above and beyond what is outside, like these little external things, right? Would the gas station, I don't know, have footage? Maybe there's an employee there that remembers helping a 13-year-old disheveled girl. and allowing her to use the phone at the gas station. She admits she lived, hours away. Um, but yeah, you said I'm confused too. So her dad picked her up from a gas station, drove her home, took 5 hours. So did it take dad her 5 hours to come and get her? So then if she's disheveled, she's 13. She's calling dad from the gas station. Okay. Just thinking. And she had to wait 5 hours for her dad to pick her up. And then the drive was 5 hours back. Yeah. So that would have been like a good 10 hours, right? And they didn't talk to each other. They didn't speak to each other or anything like that. I'm telling you, my dad would have probably grilled the fuck out of me. I would have never, I don't think I would have lived. I wouldn't have never survived. You said, why did the gas employee call the police? Why they didn't call the police if she was underage? Did the employee know the age? That's the question, right? What communication was made? This is why I'm like, all right, she says she doesn't have a witness. No, she could very well be. This gas station. I don't know. Ingrid said that makes no sense. I mean, it's a lot. There's a lot to be said about this. Her dad didn't bust her head. Oh my God. Plus, she was drugged in art and wouldn't be on point physically or mentally. Right. And she fought somebody, right? 5 hours, disheveled, 5 hour drive there, 5 hour drive back. So what did she do in the five? I would have remembered like was she waiting at the gas station for those 5 hours? I'm trying my best because I feel like, maybe there is somebody out there that could corroborate her story. Maybe it's the gas station person. Clearly the friend already died, the one that drove her there. Does she remember who the bodyguard was? Who were Diddy's bodyguards or persons back then? What kind of dad doesn't know his 13-year-old daughter is 5 hours away? I don't know, man. It does happen. Believe it or not. When I worked in government for 10 years, I worked a lot of cases where, kids just get out of control. It does happen. Kids run away all the time. Kids get involved in stupid shit. I know that from personal experience too. But it does happen. It does happen. And then sometimes parents feel like they have to give up, no matter how many lectures or, how much money you spend, mentorship programs, your kid is going to do what they're going to do. They can be beyond the control of a parent. That does happen. Okay. It's possible. I've seen it happen all the time. Okay. Moving forward, because we got to get into this Liam Payne GREASY manager interview. Okay. These stunning revelations make clear that the complaint filed by plaintiff's attorney Buzbee therefore had no factual basis whatsoever. Well, not every lawsuit has to, like, this is a civil case, but that's just my statement. Even Mr. Buzbee is walking back the complaint he put his name to, excusing these glaring inconsistencies by pointing the finger at the case being referred to by another firm who allegedly vetted the story before sending it to them. I don't think he's walking back the allegations. I do feel like Buzbee, let's just say, okay, for the sake of this just thought process, let's say that this Jane Doe was violated that night, but that it wasn't by Jay-Z. Okay. Let's say that it was by somebody else. Let's say that she snuck in and went into this after party and it was at this house. Okay. Let's say that she was drugged there. She might have been taken. This is just me speculating. I'm throwing a bunch of things out there. Is it possible that she could really remember who violated her that night? There's Diddy, right? Let's say it was somebody else that might have looked like Jay-Z. Let's say it was somebody else that, it could have been anybody else. I don't want to call her a liar based on what she's recounting trauma, but is it possible that she falsely mistaken Jay-Z? Maybe it might have been another person. Yeah, it's possible. Very plausible and possible. The other thing to this too is the dad could also not want to recount any of this because he's scared. That's possible too. You know what I mean? M71666, thank you for becoming a member, love. Shout out to you. Thank you, love. Anything is possible. So I think, oh, cancel. Sorry, my mouse is really, I gotta change the sensitivity level on this. I think we have to be open to the idea that maybe Jay-Z didn't do this. Maybe it was somebody else. Maybe because she was drugged, she mistaken the person. I've seen cases like that where, you're drugged and you misidentify somebody, and the only way to really clear it up is through DNA, through whatever is left. That does happen. It does, you know? So I wouldn't necessarily say she's 1000% lying. I just don't know. I don't know. And I don't think any of us know. And I don't necessarily think it's inconsistencies. Now, what really does bother me, and I've said it before yesterday, is that Buzbee, if you got this case from another firm, like how many other cases? Wasn't it the Ava group or something on the 800 number or whatever? And they were kind of working together. Like, if I have questions about this Jane Doe, okay, not every Jane Doe and John Doe is lying, but it does leave people to interpret the way in which people are filing cases. Like, did Busby believe that the other law firm did, their due diligence by checking out this case? And what did they do? What did they investigate? Or did they just take her statement and that was that? Because then if that's the case, then what are we doing about the other cases? There's like for me, the John Doe, the one that worked for Mark Echo, I think that's what it was. There's certain John Does that just really stand out to me, and Jane Does and stuff like that. You know, I'm assuming that John Doe who was violated by Diddy in the Macy's department store, he's gonna have record of him being at the Macy's department store that day of the promo. There's probably pictures out there. If he worked for Mark Echo and he was set up with an apartment, he's gonna show like stubs, like this is the time date that I was there. This is what happened to me. If he went to the doctor, that these are things that are going to be like helpful through this, right? So kind of keeping up in mind, like what else do we have? These are things that can be vetted. But to just file lawsuits when things haven't like been properly vetted and you're the forefront of this, he's not new to this, okay? He's done this before. So he should know better, in my opinion, to do more by checking out her story, okay? And that's just my thought. That's just my opinion. My opinion on the internet, okay? All right. So he says that even Mr. Busby is walking back the complaint that he put his name to, excusing these glaring inconsistencies by pointing the finger at the case being referred by another firm who allegedly vetted the story before sending it to them. The heinous allegations against Mr. Combs are patently false. The complaint filed by a plaintiff attorney Anthony Busby therefore had no factual basis whatsoever. The heinous allegations against Mr. Carter are patently false. Okay. All right. In light of those developments, it is now clear that Mr. Busby signed the complaint and others filings in this case in violation of Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 11. Now, and others, you don't know that. You're only involved in this one. What does he mean, and others? You don't know that. I mean, he's not involved in the other ones. How does he know that? Just because one Jane Doe has doesn't have the witnesses, does that mean that everybody's lying on Diddy? And he's not representing Diddy, he's representing Jay-Z. Huh? I'm going to need more than a word at this point. I need some hard proof at this point, says Karen. Shout out to Karen Johnson. I mean, what do y'all think? Didi, thank you for gifting memberships, love. Thank you for supporting my channel yet again. Thank you. Y'all hit the like button, please, and thank you. Thank you. What do you guys think? I'm wondering. Right. All can be forensically proven where exists a will, always exists a way. Okay. You just never know. Under the rule, an attorney who signs a document assumes an affirmative duty to conduct a reasonable inquiry into the facts and the laws before the filing. And shout out to BJ, because she even said, well, a reasonable inquiry to the facts. That's something that I guess it's been argued. What does that necessarily mean? The attorney's signature denotes merit in the filing and sends a message to the district court that this document is taken serious. Okay. In addition, attorneys who learn after filing a complaint that the factual assertions are false must immediately withdraw the claim. We don't know if they're false. That the factual assertions must be, we don't know if they're false. We just know that they need more information. That's all. But we don't know if they're false. He is something else. Given today's revelations, Mr. Buzbee almost certainly failed to undertake a reasonable inquiry into the facts before filing the complaint. He should never have brought the claims. Huh. Okay. At minimum, he should withdraw them now. Allowing these claims to remain pending even a moment longer not only harms Mr. Carter, his family, and his businesses and employees, and his legacy, it also impairs the integrity of the judicial system towards the pursuit of justice and silences the voice of the true victims. Oh, shit. Okay. So again, we don't know anything, and I'm like on the fence on this. Furthermore, it appears that Mr. Buzbee has attempted to circumvent the authority of this court to enforce Rule 11 and associated obligation by declining to seek admissions to this court before signing, pleading, and other documents. Mr. Buzbee is not licensed to practice law in this court, and he has not sought, let alone obtained, admission to pro have vice. And BJ explained this very well. I suggest y'all watch this part, right? Like if they're not practicing attorneys in certain states, that they have to get like some provisional supervision thing situation. So check her out as she explains this. Yet in the nearly 8 weeks since he initiated this proceeding, what proceeding? Yet in the nearly 8 weeks he initiated this lawsuit with the Jane Doe is 8 weeks old, or the others. Mr. Buzbee has filed a complaint in this matter that was signed solely by him using an S signature. Signed the amended complaint alongside with other counsel that added Mr. Carter as a defendant and noticed a motion for plaintiff to proceed anonymously, accompanied by a supporting brief and a declaration, once again signed only by him. Most recently, on December 10th, 2024, Mr. Buzbee filed a letter, which he also signed alone. Mr. Buzbee's failure to obtain admission to the bar of this court is in a transparent attempt to circumvent the basic requirements of Rule 11. And BJ was saying how maybe that is kind of like they're trying to sanction him, and they can't because he's not licensed there. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Shout out to my non-attorneys. But I mean, I'm glad. Thank you, Karen, for the $10 super sticker love. Shout out to you. Thank you for supporting my channel. Amazing. What do you guys think? Okay. I know, Sylvia, tell him to hit that like button, please, and thank you. Let's see. Is he just filing without, I don't know, getting supervision? I mean, I would think, like I said, this is why I struggle with Buzbee, because it's like he would know better than to do that. You know? He would have to know better than to do this, to just be filing shit. Especially like we're at high stakes right now. What are we doing? And this is the only Jay-Z accuser at this point that we know of. Raul says if Buzbee doesn't have receipts, this is irresponsible and hacky. Hacky. Never heard of the word hacky. You said Buzbee and Jay-Z. It's obviously getting personal. You know what's so interesting? NBC didn't read the full Jay-Z statement because there was an underlying threat in Jay-Z's statement. Like Chloe Malis did not read that whole. I was re-listening and I said, girl did not read the whole statement, because I read the whole statement yesterday, and it said something to the effect of like Buzbee, like he put in his name and it said something like you know, you getting what you asked for type of situation. Like, oh my God. Oh gosh. They're about to fight. I mean, it is what it is. Mr. Buzbee's failure to obtain admission to the bar of this court is a transparent attempt to circumvent the basic requirements of Rule 11 and the rule of professional conduct. Admission subjects an attorney to the jurisdiction of the court and to the sanctions for signing pleadings that are not grounded in the facts and the law. Mr. Buzbee thus appeared to have strategically declined to seek admission in order to avoid sanctions for a complaint that he knew had no factual basis. Now, given these facts, Mr. Carter intends to file immediately a motion to strike the first amended complaint. Under the rules, he respectfully requests the court shorten the filing deadline for that motion from 21 days to 1 day from the date of service in light of today's stunning public disclosures and severe ongoing harm to Mr. Carter. Okay, so there's a signature there, Alex Spiro, and that is what we have. And there were attachments to this as well. But let me say this. For me, like I said, I'm not the judge, the jury, I'm not any of these people, right? So I have a lot of questions. A lot of this sounds like a lot of strategy. I do wonder how Buzbee's going to move forward. I was watching a little bit too of what is it? Oh my God, Emily, the lawyer. Why can I not think of her last name? Like, what am I doing? I watch your stuff all the time. Like brain fart. Hold up. Emily D. Baker. Jesus Christ. Sorry, y'all. Emily D. Baker. I was watching a little bit of Emily D. Baker. And she had actually also read the lawsuit against Buzbee. Thank you. Y'all. I'm like, help me out. Emily. I'm like, I've said her name before, Emily D. Baker. And she's like on my watch list all the time. And she was talking about how like the lawsuit is messy, right? That they're going against Buzbee. But even though his background is what it is, what does it have to do with the allegations? And that's what the worry should be for a lot of us is there are some allegations here that are being made. What are we going to do about these allegations and make sure that whatever Buzbee's background is what it is? But what's important is what's being alleged and how, we read those and we're mindful of like the people that are alleging them. At the other side of that argument is they could very well be lying. That could very well happen. She could be very well lying. Other folks could I am willing to accept that because I have seen people do that. And it's unfortunate. And, for me, somebody who has a lot of empathy and wants to believe all victims, it does happen that, for whatever reason, people lie for self-preservation, for self-gain, for, whatever it may be, you insert that in there, like what your thoughts are. You have to be very careful and, use your discernment wisely when it comes to these types of allegations. And they're important allegations. And I mean, they could make and break a person. But I have to kind of ask the question, like, why is it? Like, Chloe, you really going hard on the paint for this one? But there's like a gazillion Diddy lawsuits. When are you going to address the other Diddy lawsuits? Huh? You want to discredit the other ones too? Kind of wondering. Asking for a friend. Thank you, Fiona, for telling the people to hit the like button. All right, y'all. So, Liam Payne's friend, we're going to move on to Liam Payne, says he seemed playful before his death. Now, let me say this. It looks like TMZ is going to be doing here it is. TMZ investigates Liam Payne. Who's to blame? Dun, dun, dun. Liam Payne's friend sat with TMZ and they're doing interviews about who's at fault for what happened to Liam Payne. You know that Okay Notice is being charged, and I'm working on some other videos pertaining to this, and we're going to do a reaction video on the investigation because when TMZ investigates, it's the end of the world.
We have some terrible news.
Liam Payne's death shocked the
Here we go. Let's look at these
day in
previews.
Liam's life.
It was anything but a normal day.
Fox Monday, TMZ investigates.
Prosecutors say Liam went out looking for drugs.
Looked like he was overdosing on something. It's a tantamount to a kidnapping.
Oh, God.
With exclusive interviews with
Wait, they got the Dr. Drew Clown? Oh, my God. All right, whatever.
accused and hear directly from eyewitnesses.
We saw Liam fall.
All right.
TMZ investigates Liam Payne. Who's to blame? Monday at 8/7 Central on Fox.
Yeah, so I'm going to be doing a review on that. I'm going to see about how I can record it so that I can, not violate any copyright rules and stuff like that. Watch this.
I'm Roger Norris, and I'm a very good friend of Liam's, and I was with him the day that he passed
Wait,
away.
what's your
He
name
was
again? Hold up.
Norris, and I'm a very good friend.
Hold on. What's your name?
I'm Roger Norris, and I'm a very good friend of Liam's, and I was with him the day that he passed away. He was in good spirits. He was
Roger, why do you look so shiny? Like he looks like he hasn't slept. Am I the only one who feels like I was talking to somebody and I was talking to Julia and I said, Julia, look at Roger's face. What's wrong with Roger? He just doesn't like I look at the pictures with the Forbes, article, and he don't really look right, James. Jay. Hey, James said it, not me. He looks beat. Thank you, Sylvia. Thank you. We're getting there. We'll get there. We'll get there. He looks a lot older than 35. That's the guilt in his skin. He looks beat. He looks beat. He really does. Yeah. He don't look right. He looks sweaty and shiny. He looks sick and guilty. What? You should put this in all caps. He looks rough. He don't look right. I mean, he doesn't look like those other pictures. You would think you're doing an interview. Like, has he not slept? Has he not eaten? He don't look right. Okay, let me
like talking to 10 or 15 Americans that were here for a wedding. So he was talking to them and he was joking around.
One of our wedding guests did have a meaningful conversation with him. He told her that the reason he was so up was because he was in a boy band.
Wait a minute. So he had a meaningful conversation with one of the wedding guests. Brett, I don't know what's up with Brett. This is Brett Watson. Why do I know so much about him? Is because he did a lot of interviews with the outlet. I think he did one. Okay, he did one. And then there was a woman who also was a witness, and I did a translation of that recording, who was at his wedding party. He was getting married, okay, at the Casa Sur. This is what was going on. What's so crazy about this situation is that you see the hotel lobby pictures, but it's like there's hardly any people there and they had a wedding party. It's interesting. Okay.
Up was because he was in a boy band. And just saying these things that it didn't really make sense or fit the context of the conversation.
I left like at 4:05 or so, and he was in good spirits. He was perfectly balanced.
Wait a minute. What time did you leave? Because you keep changing that, and the prosecutor on file said a different time. Hold up.
And he was in good spirits. He was
Hold up.
5 or so.
5 or so.
At 4:05 or so.
No. Hold up.
Text of the conversation.
I left like at 4:05 or so.
I left at like 4 or 5 or so. You couldn't have left at 5 because this is around the time that what happened with Liam Payne. 4 or 5 or so.
And he was in good spirits. He was perfectly balanced, like talking to everybody, having fun, laughing. So nothing out of the ordinary. And that's when I said, okay, bye.
So you left him about an hour before he fell off that balcony.
Okay.
And you say.
Then Harvey puts in here, you left him an hour before 5:04, right? Because he's like 5 or 4 or 5:04. Oh, see, it says hit the like button. But Harvey says an hour before. But the articles out there say that's not true. The time inconsistency is so crazy to me. I don't know what to say. But anyways, let's keep watching.
He seemed fine.
Yeah. Well, he seemed playful and happy.
Well, that's Roger Norris's account, but it's wildly different from.
Thank you, the TMZ producer. And I'm like, are you just trying to put like now the TMZ producer is the expert? All right, let's go.
What others say they observed.
Our guest witnessed Liam laying on the sofa in the lobby. This is probably right around 4:30.
They witness him. This is crazy that they would take a picture of Liam Payne laying in the lobby. And then not only did they take this picture, but they took it facing the whatever he was watching on the computer. Like just taking pictures of him. Okay.
PM. wasn't necessarily coherent. He definitely looked like he was under the influences, according to our guest. Apparently something came in on his computer, and they describe it as something, and Liam just kind of flipped. He went from laying down pretty sedentary to just stood up really agitated, and that's the point where he slammed his
So he's speaking for other guests. He's not speaking for himself of what he saw. This is the problem that I have with this situation. Hold up. And Christine, welcome. Shout out to you, Christine. You said Daily Mail report. I went to his hotel 3 times that day and left 40 minutes before this happened. There were over 15 people at the hotel lobby and joking with him when I left. Raul, but he said, like Julia said in the chat and others said 405, 405. And then he says, it's been said, I left 40 minutes before this happened. Timing is everything. Yes, he is giving second account statements of what the guest saw, not what he saw. What did Brett see? What did Brett Watson see? I don't care what other guests saw. I care about what Brett Watson saw. That's the problem that I have. Go ahead. Let's keep playing this.
laptop on the ground and said something along the lines of this.
Roger Norris says, despite accusations of abandonment by authorities, he was a dutiful friend the day Liam died.
I went to the hotel 3 times
A dutiful friend. Well, he was his manager. Okay.
to check on him. During that morning, he seemed tipsy, but nothing out of the ordinary.
He seemed tipsy, but nothing out of the ordinary. Let me say this, though. This is why TMZ sucks ass, okay? Harvey, you're not showing all the messages. There are messages out there where Rogelio is providing substances to Liam. When you have the message that said this 6 grams, Rogelio is telling Liam, estos 6 gramos son de la buena. These 6 grams are good ones. Why is TMZ only half-assing this situation? That's what I want to know. How much did they pay?
But prosecutors say Roger had a duty to stick around, whether Liam wanted it or not.
Why are they saying that, Harvey? Because he was in the email with the psychiatrist, okay? Roger was aware that he could not drink and take a antidepressant, that mixing those. And then in addition to that, if it's true that he took drugs, he couldn't do that. You couldn't mix these. He knew that. Now, here's the deal. How does Liam Payne go from laying on the couch with this laptop, and then when the prostitutes, now did the prostitutes arrive before or after the incident when he broke the laptop? Because then one of the prostitutes said, well, he also broke the TV in the room. So you mean to tell me that he fucked up the TV in the room, he's calmed down, decides to go to the lobby with this laptop, and then fuck up the laptop that he had as well? Huh?
Which is why they want him prosecuted for abandonment.
Eventually, he got to the point where he either tripped or he passed out and ended up falling over one of the end tables in the lobby.
Wait. Hold up, Brett.
Passed out and ended up falling over one of the end tables in the lobby. And this is when he started twitching on the ground. From what I could see, it looked like he was going in and out of consciousness, not very lucid at all. At this
No, Brett, you're the person that said that he was convulsing. You said that. The only reason why we knew he was convulsing is because when you did that first interview with the Argentinian outlet, you said that he was convulsing. So was he convulsing? What happened here?
At this point, the hotel staff had rushed over to him. Looked like he was overdosing on something. We did see the group of people around Liam getting him into the elevator. This all happened about 10 minutes before he ultimately fell.
Oh, you already know we're gonna be tearing that little video. We're gonna be tearing that documentary up, okay? Because it's bullshit. Look, TMZ won't call him the manager, they'll call him the friend, okay? And TMZ is specifically showing this message, but you're not showing how Roger responded to him after Liam asked him for 6 grams. This is so weird. So weird. Mm-mm. And now Brett is inserting himself as a third-party person to have seen a lot of this. You guys, let me know what you think. TMZ is trying to control the narrative, says Amy. TMZ has been paid. That's what happens. Like, in my opinion, allegedly, TMZ has been paid to muddy the waters. Now, get this shit, right? Y'all want to know what Ezequiel Peña, or not Ezequiel Peña, that's a whole artist. Ezequiel Pereira looks like? Huh? We have a picture. We have a picture of the alleged drug dealer. Here we go. We've been wanting to see what this guy looks like. He is the youngest drug dealer. At least he was working at the hotel. See if I can get a... See if we can upload this picture real quick. So I'm going to work on a pre-recorded video for this. And then I'm also working on a pre-recorded video for BJ as well, her court case. Shout out to BJ. I think she's no longer in the chat. Shout out to her, though. Let's see. Let me show you guys. So this is the drug dealer. One of them. Is this it? Open it. Yep, here it is. They captured him in the documentary. So one of the drug dealers, they said he used to, allegedly this is the guy that brought the soap boxed up with drugs. That's what they're saying. I don't know, y'all. So yeah, that is probably just letting y'all know what's happening. So I'm gonna figure out the copyright situation, because I want to be able to, download it, do different things to it so that we can watch it here and I can give commentary to this and provide receipts. Okay. Because I like doing that, different things to provide. Y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments about that. What if he was convulsing? Why was an ambulance called? That's Brett said that he was convulsing. Now Brett's not saying that. Okay. And then Brett says in this TMZ interview that it looked like he was having a drug overdose. So was he convulsing, not convulsing? What happened to that, Brett? Brett? It's too much going on. That's what I'm going to say. You said, so if they see that he's on something, they didn't call for medical emergency help, right? It's a lot that does not make sense. A lot of it. You think he was thrown off once he OD'd to cover for drugs? It's a lot that's not making sense. Everything he says should have led to an ambulance being called. Everything. Somebody should have called an ambulance. But anyways, guys, I'm going to let you guys go because I got to work on some pre-recorded videos. Guys, thank you so much for supporting my channel. Jill, M7, thank you. Didi, thank you. Karen, thank you for that $10. Shout out to you guys. None of it is making sense. Anything is possible and nothing is making sense at this point. We will see. I want to, so I guess that gets released on Monday. So I'm going to figure out how to download it and, re-edit it so that y'all can watch it with me and we can give some commentary. You guys have a great weekend. I'll probably be live later, right? Bye. Hit that like button, please. Thank you guys. Bye. Bye, y'all.